going on, guys? Alex over there on 4EDC, and today we are going to do a little 2024 channel review. We're going to go over the knives that I reviewed, kind of go with my knife of the year picks, some other highlights of knives. We're going to talk about my 2024 resolutions that I had set for myself here on the channel, and see if I, surpassed them or succeeded them. And then we're going to talk about some 2025 resolutions that I've come up with for the channel, here going into the new year. This will be the last video of 2024. So it's crazy. We are now talking about January 1st, New Year's Eve. This year has flown by. It's been very busy for me and my wife. It's been a good year. I really can't complain too much. We're, happy, healthy, blessed. Can't really complain too much, but hope you guys all had a great Christmas with your friends and family. I've been kind of MIA the past week or so. I'm filming this on Monday, but you guys are going to see this on Tuesday, New Year's Eve. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to get into it. I jotted some stuff down here on my little notepad, and I have a year in review 2024. So before we get into knives, we're going to talk about my 2024 channel resolutions that I had for myself on the channel. I only had 3. I figured I'd go with, a couple relatively attainable ones, and I think I did pretty good on all of them. The first one is I wanted to get to 1,500 subs. On January 1st, I was at 1,115. I am now at, as of filming this, I think 1,597, I think I looked this morning. So I surpassed that and some, so I was very, very happy with that. So that is checked off. My second one was to upload more consistently, and I put in parentheses 2 per week. There were maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks that I did not upload 2 per week. I was a lot more consistent this year. I was more up to date on videos. I was more consistent, I guess. That's the word I'm looking for. I was, definitely better at that this year. There were a few weeks that I did let slide where I didn't post. So I'm going to say I did that like 98% of the way through. And I'm considering that a win because, in the last couple of years before 2024, I was, very, very sporadic with my posts. This year, I feel like I really honed in and got better at it. And I'm hoping to continue that over into 2025 as well. So I would consider that mainly a win. But there were a few weeks that I let it slide. So, you win some, you lose some. And then the last one was to use my rating system and to keep track of all the reviewed knives that I did in 2024. And if you guys have been, long-term viewers of the channel, or at least for the past year, you knew that whenever I do my full reviews, I talk about materials, aesthetic, action, acoustic, ergos, carry, and price point / value / what I recommend this knife. And then I rate the knife out of 30. I just checked and I counted them all up. I reviewed 86 knives in 2024, which the more and more I counted and the bigger the number got, I kind of was like, wow, I did not realize I reviewed that many. So that was really cool to, look back and see, and to really kind of check the list to see what some of the ones were. Because there are definitely, knives out there that I've reviewed that I kind of have to think, oh yeah, I did review that, and I enjoyed it, I did enjoy it, and so on and so forth. Yeah, 86 knives. I enjoyed my review system. I feel like at times I can be kind of nitpicky with knives, and I feel like maybe I'm not making this as a resolution for 2025, but I feel like I want to kind of hone in, and maybe instead of doing like 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, maybe even go like, 3.8, 4.2, 4.7. And I feel like that'll really, differentiate some of the knives that I review. I don't know. It's just an idea that I was tossing around, but maybe just trying to hone in a little bit more and be a little bit more specific on my thoughts and my details and everything like that goes into the knife. But I reviewed every knife, except for maybe like, there was a couple that were like prototypes and I didn't know much information on them and things like that. But I would say that I surpassed pretty much all my resolutions, so I'm pretty happy about that. Now for 2025 resolutions, so I have 4 here, 4 big ones. I would like to reach 2,000 subs by the year's end. It's very similar to last year. I had about a little under 400 to go, and now what do I need? I need about 403. So very, very similar to last year. I should be able to post 2,000 or to hit 2,000 subs by December 31st of 2025. As long as I keep up on my posting, I'm going to try to do I feel like with shorts, I know shorts isn't like the best form of content, but I find it gets me good engagement, and gets some subscribers. But with shorts, I feel like I am on top of it for like a week straight, and then I just fall off a cliff, and I'm like I don't do it for like 2 weeks. So instead of being so up and down, I want to be more even keel. Maybe even if I'm not posting every day, it's a couple times a week, or maybe try to post on days where I'm not uploading a video. But 2,000 subs is something that I want to get to. My second one is I would like to produce better quality videos. For you guys, I really would like to, I'm not going to go all out and just like do the producing and the editing and everything like that some of these big time YouTubers do, because I just don't have the time or really the willpower for that. But I would like to, I've talked about this, I think on a few videos before. I want to get like an overhead arm, because I would like to start introducing more top-down content as well. I think a mixture of face cam, when I introduce the knife and when I close the video would be cool. But then in the middle, do face down so you guys can see the knife more, and I can show more details. I just think that would be a good mix going forward. I think that, I've gotten a lot of comments before on videos like show the knife more. So I am going to look into doing that. I want to get an overhead arm, excuse me. And the tripod I'm using, I've commented before, it's literally like a $12 tripod I bought at Walmart literally before I started filming. So I've been using this tripod for 3 years now, maybe, I think going on 3 years. And it's served its purpose. It still works. It's literally holding my phone as I'm recording this now. So it does well for me, but I want to look into upgrading that. So, I sometimes I have to tweak with the tension screw, and it flops, and it's just a little bit cumbersome to use at times. So I would like to upgrade to a better version of that as well. So overall, better quality, different types of shots, which will make more appealing videos for you guys to watch when it comes to my full reviews. So that is 2. Another one is I would like to mod knives that I have been wanting to mod, and that's not me specifically, doing the work for them, but there are knives like the Quiet Carry Waypoint and the Spidey Chef. There's just some stuff that I've been wanting to get modded specifically, specific things done to those knives. I want to get new scales for some stuff. There's at least 2 knives I want to get scales for, and I'm just saying, instead of me spending, money on a lot of new knives here and there, I would like to put money towards stuff that I already have in my collection that'll spruce it up, that will, maybe make it feel like a new knife to me again. It'll be, not that it's getting stale now, but there's just stuff that I've had for quite some time that I'm like, I'll get to it sometime. I'll send it away to have, work done to it. But I really want to, be on top of that. And by year's end, I would like to have 1, 2, I think there's like 4 or 5 knives that I want to have scales done and some different mods done to it. And I would like to have that done by the end of the year. I think that's very attainable. It's literally just buying a couple less knives throughout the year and just improving the knives I already have. So that is 3. And then the last one, I don't know how obtainable this is, because I need to really get my watch hours up, and I would possibly like to start maybe doing some lives here and there, because I know that is a good way to boost your watch hours. But I would like to become monetized. I have the subs requirement, and I just, not that I ever plan on making YouTube, any sort of sustainable income for myself. I just think it would be, cool to say that I get paid by YouTube, even if I make 10 cents a month. It's just something, it's kind of a pat on the back, and just a cool thing to me to be able to tell people, oh yeah, I technically get paid by YouTube. It may not be much at all, but I technically get paid to put my videos on the internet. So that is the 4th one. I definitely think the first 3 are very, very attainable. That one, maybe a little bit less so. But again, I do want to maybe do some live sometimes and just see if they gain any traction. Not saying that I'm going to probably have a consistent schedule, just because my schedule's kind of sporadic and busy at times, but we'll see where that takes us. It's kind of been something I've been tossed around for, the past quite some time, actually. I don't know how long it's been, but so yeah, that was, those were the 2024 resolutions. Those are the new 2025 resolutions. So, when the end of 2020, I can't talk. When the end of 2025 comes around, I will do another video and talk about, if I surpassed them or if I failed them. So now that that's out of the way, real quick before we dive into my knives and everything like that, a year in review. I did get 2 EDC related Christmas presents. A little bit light this year. I didn't really ask for a ton from people, just because we had some other, other presents pop up and other reasons for receiving, less gifts, if that makes sense. Not to dive any, into too many details, but I asked for one knife this year, and I actually let my parents pick it out. So I gave them some website recommendations. I gave my wife a big list of my knives. So, when my mom or my dad would, text her to be like, hey, does Alex have this knife, or would Alex like this knife? She could kind of cross-reference. And the knife they ended up getting me is actually on my list, which we'll talk about in a minute, but they got me the Kershaw Knives Bel Air. I absolutely loved the Bel Air whenever I had it in for review. It was back in February. I did not think it was almost a whole year since I had this on the channel, but the Bel Air is a badass knife. It is very, very good. One of the, hint, best knives of the year, in my opinion. I got the OG in the champagne gray, Magna Cut crossbar lock. Just a beautiful knife, super thin, super slicey, just a fantastic EDC knife. I did order some Pyrotech Kraken piano wire springs for this because the detent is a little bit light, but I am slowly getting used to it. So whenever the wires get in, I'm sure I'll have to readjust to the stronger detent. But overall, I'm very, very excited for this. So the Bel Air is in my collection for life now. And then my brother-in-law, so I got a gift for my brother. Not technically my brother-in-law, but he's my wife's brother-in-law. So he's essentially my brother-in-law. He's one of my best friends. I got him a gift. He got myself a gift. My wife got her sister a gift, and her sister got her a gift. We did just a kids exchange this year, and then we obviously got presents for the in-laws and stuff like that. But he ended up getting me a custom 814 EDC hat with a really nice leather patch. He said he found someone on Etsy to do it. And this was, I was really not, I was not expecting anything EDC related from him at all. And when I opened the bag that he had this in, I was really just blown away. This is a fantastic gift. I love it already. I'm not going to wear it today because I'm not feeling like a hat today, but just a beautiful leather patch. And this is something that I have been wanting to get done for quite some time. I had a couple websites picked out. I had a couple Etsy people picked out. I just never got around to it, but I now have, a piece of my own merch, which is awesome. I would like to get maybe a hoodie done sometime, but the hat is awesome. It's a Richardson 112, which is one of my favorite hats to wear. But yeah, this was an amazing gift, and I absolutely love it. So hat and knife, can't go wrong with those two. But for being a lighter EDC themed Christmas, it was a very, very good one at that. So now, real quick before we end this video, we're going to go over some knives that I felt were, justifiable to be talked about. So according to my list, out of 2024, out of 86 knives, I only had 2 perfect knives. And believe it or not, I have neither of these knives in my collection. The first one being the Vosteed Dachshund. I'm going to try to edit in photos, so we'll see if that really works, but I'm going to try to put a photo in here of the Dachshund. Absolutely love that knife. It was the first perfect I had on there back in February, and it has stayed. It did stay the only perfect until July, which is when the Rosecraft Blades Beaver Creek Barlow, yes, a slip joint, came in, and I reviewed it, and I decided that it was worthy of a 35 out of 35. So here is the Barlow. I have my best value knife of the year in 2024, and it's a recent acquisition, but it is the CGRB Acacia. For $30, just an absolute amazing value with the crossbar lock, loop over style deep carry clip, all the good things. AR RPM 9 blade steel, nice milling there on the FRN. But that is coming in as the best overall value folder. And then my most recent acquisition as the best American-made value, I have the Kershaw Bel Air. This was going to win regardless of if I had one in the collection or not, but now that I have one in the collection, it just makes it even better. American-made for like $150, Magna Cut. Kershaw is really killing it with, their higher quality stuff they've come out with in the last year or two. But we have the Bel Air as the best American-made. Some other highlights I have the Asher Ty Douglas. This was very close to being a perfect on my list. Absolutely love this knife. Really, really good. We have the Kubi Blackout, which was also close to being perfect. Don't have that one in the collection, but I missed that one quite a bit. Really, really good knife. Then we also have the Kaiser Mini Militaw, which again, I don't have in the collection, but really, really love that knife. And all three of those were just so close and very nitpicky, things away from being perfect knives, which I will try to show those there. The 2 lowest rated knives I had were 2 Kaisers. I had the Kaiser Ke and the Kaiser Momo. Those were, very, very poorly rated knives. I did not enjoy both of those. But everything else, for the year I had a lot of really good knives, and I had, a couple, okay knives, and just, 2 mediocre knives. But yeah, so my top 3 knives of 2024, surprisingly, I don't know, the Dachshund and the Barlow are kind of, as much as they're perfect knives to me, I just really enjoyed these other ones. So of course we have the Bel Air. It is a top 3 knife of the year for me. And like I said, I am so glad that I got this in the collection. But we have the Kershaw Bel Air. We have the Tempest Knives Fractus. I think that this is an incredible value for the money. Whenever Casey did a pre-order on this, you had S90V, 3.5 inches of it. You have beautiful milled titanium scales with Arctic Storm fat carbon inlays on both sides. One of the top 2 or top 3 best clips I've ever seen in my life and used in my life. Just fantastic. This was like $199, and it is just an absolute killer build from Casey. And I think Kubi did these, but really, really good. So that is a top 3 knife for me. And then last but certainly not least, we had the Devo Knives Lush, which was a traditional pocket knives exclusive. I missed out on the first run of these whenever they did them, so I snagged one on the second. And I just love this knife because it's just so sleek, so simple, really good lines. It's a great fidget knife, great flicker, great front flipper. Just all around one of my, if not the best Devo knife I've handled had in my life. It's definitely one of my favorite models from them. So yeah, I'm not going to name a top knife of the year for me because it's too hard there. That's why I went with my 3. But yeah, this was a really, really good year. It was a great year for growth for me. Hopefully 2025 will be a great year for growth as me as well. Great year for growth for me as well, if I could talk correctly. But yeah, I mean, that's about all I have for you guys today. Keep your eyes peeled for New Year's Day. Either New Year's Day or January 2nd, I will be posting a video regarding a giveaway that is really sweet. You guys do not want to miss that. But I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for a fantastic year. Keep supporting going into 2025. We're going to have a fingers crossed, a really good year together. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much. Peace.